Alright everybody, so today I'm going to talk about how I actually got into Kamen Rider. The road to how I got into Kamen Rider. And it starts like this. August 28th, 1993, 7-year-old Zero, or 7-year-old CJ, was introduced to the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. 5 teenagers with attitude, chosen to fight against Rita Repulsa and her monsters trying to take over Earth. Now, throughout this 3-season run of a great show for a 7-year-old, I also was introduced to other shows, such as Big Bad Beetleborgs and its sequel series, Beetleborgs and Telex, VR Troopers, Season 1 and 2, and, especially around Mighty Morphin Power Rangers' 3rd season, Master Rider. All these shows were, really important part of my younger years. But I was getting older, and as I was getting older, a lot of kids were starting to think of Power Rangers as childish. And I was starting to be a teenager around Wild Force coming out. So I slowly started dwindling down. Plus, Wild Force had moved to Fox Family, and the time slots were all kinds of messed up. So, in 10th grade, as I moved in with my mom after the passing of my father, I got into some new shows. Elena's High, which led me to the Tribe, which were great shows. In all honesty, I hope somebody will check it out. And I will actually start making videos of the Tribe and Elena's High one of these days. Well, if you look on the bottom, at the girl on the far right, and the girl in the middle, they look like some Power Ranger characters, correct? Maybe not. Well, let's just say in the 4th season of the Tribe, a certain character shows up, Jay, and he's the one that got me back on Power Rangers. Namely, CJ was none other than James Napier, who played Connor McKnight, the Red Ranger of Power Rangers Silent Thunder, which sparked my re-interest in Power Rangers. You know what else it sparked an interest in? A little episode called Lost in Translation. It sparked my interest in Super Sentai, Japanese Power Rangers. I wanted to understand it. I wanted to know about it. Well, I wouldn't find out more until I got to college, where I started watching Mahou Sentai, Magi Ranger. Mahou Sentai, Magi Ranger was my first full step into the whole Super Sentai franchise. Realizing that, Power Rangers actually comes from Super Sentai. And I love this show. Love Duhara, the Blue Ranger. And I love the fact that they had that whole Magi Yellow sniper battle and all that stuff, which in America was the introduction of Nick's Battleizer. So throughout the years, while I was, after I had went to college, dropped out of college after my best friend died, and moved to Charlotte, and eventually moved back to Georgia, I was constantly going back and forth between watching Power Rangers and watching Super Sentai. There were some Super Sentai seasons I loved, and there were some Power Ranger seasons I loved, and vice versa on the hate. There were some Power Ranger seasons I hated, some Super Sentai seasons I hated. Anyways, due to the last season of Disney era Power Rangers RPM, and subsequently the last time I would ever see a cast member from the Tribe show up in Power Rangers, aka Flynn, who played KC in the Tribe. Well, I needed to find something because we all thought that Power Rangers was over and done with. So, while still looking for episodes of Power Rangers RPM, I eventually discovered Kamen Rider Dragon Knight. And it was good. It was great. At the exact same time, I was still watching Shinkenji, which was the Japanese version of Power Ranger Samurai. And eventually it led me to watch while I was watching Kamen Rider Dragonite and watching Shinkenger, I noticed one thing on the Shinkenger videos, the whole superhero time, which led me to watch, which brings me to the one big thing, Kamen Rider Decade, which gave me so much information on all things Kamen Rider, at least Heisei era Kamen Rider, and a little bit of Showa. So that was my road to Kamen Rider. And let me tell you, the reason why I made this video is because this is how I got into Kamen Rider. Well, a lot of people get into Kamen Rider and a lot of other things on their own, through their own ways. So let's just stop the gatekeeping, please.